Yeah, it's recording.
Welcome to Final Third TV. This is the first in a bit part series that we might do the odd time. Final Third Reacts. Basically, this one is in relation to Jack Grealish deciding on his international future. He has declared for England. Conor, you're with me here, obviously.
Hi, Rod.
On a scale of 0 to angry mob with pitchforks, where are you on this Englishman who decided to play for England?
Well, obviously, as expected, the nation has taken this with good grace. And
we've grown
Yeah.
since independence, Conor. I feel we've grown.
I mean,
we're big boys now.
I mean, there wasn't people on Facebook saying that they didn't want him to play for Ireland anyway in bitter tones.
With an avatar of Grealish and Grealish XOXO as their name. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
The reaction's been mature.
Mature. As expected, the Irish nation has rallied around and accepted this cruel twist of fate of a player who wasn't produced by the Irish system. But we can still feel entitled to claim anyway because we have zero capability of producing players ourselves.
Are you surprised, or had you seen this coming, kind of writing on the wall?
It was inevitable as soon as he said he was taking a year to reflect and decide on the decision. Like it was obvious that he was going to pick England. I mean, his agent is a certain Mr. Jonathan Barnett, who is also the agent of Gareth Bale, and at some sort of one of these think tanks where
Explains the hair.
Yeah, one of these think tanks where like rich enterprising people meet up and give talks and stuff to a gathered, assembled public. At one of these events recently, Jonathan Barnett was talking about Gareth Bale and the money that Gareth Bale lost out on by choosing Wales over England. Yeah, basically Barnett was sending a subtle hint to Jack Grealish that, mate, you're going to lose out on a lot of money if you pick Ireland over England.
He'll never get a chance to do pub tours of the country, though.
No.
People paying for his drink for some reason.
With Tony Cascarino being wheeled out in a Zimmer frame.
That is a good point, though. Maybe that did come into consideration. I don't mean that in a negative aspect. There is a bigger profile to be had by playing for England. Yeah. You will more than likely go to every tournament. So we've missed, what, 2 tournaments in the last 30 years?
I think that's the biggest aspect as to why he picked. He's going to get the opportunity to play at major tournaments regularly.
I mean, I've seen people say, oh, you know, as a joke, like saying, oh, Jack Grealish declares for England, Jack Grealish immediately declares his retirement from international football, as in, like, he's not going to get a cap anyway. Football changes quickly. Yeah. In fairness, nobody knew who he was, apart from Irish fans a few years ago, and now all of a sudden, he's there.
Well, let's see, like, the majority of top-level footballers have a certain capacity to improve, and it's a lot of it's just a development thing or a mental thing. You don't know where he could be in a year's time. He could have advanced in his development so much within a year that he's almost like knocking on Roy Hodgson's door at night. Pick me. I'm the player for that position. Yeah. Now, granted, the contender for his position is a certain Mr. Wayne Rooney, and I mean, like Mount Everest will be moved quicker than Wayne Rooney.
Mount Everest moves quicker than Rooney is the other point to make. That's unkind.
50 international goals, achievements.
I think you could end up in a similar situation, just looking into his crystal balling it with his future, where he gets game time from Sherwood, a la Harry Kane. Sherwood will never get sacked when Villa go into the relegation zone from Christmas, and
the good manager comes in and he becomes a good player.
But he's already a fully fledged Villa player, you know. So I think it's the right choice. I definitely would have made it myself. I'm not in the slightest bit angry. I don't think it's right. It's almost fair. We give them back a player that played for our youth teams. Yes. You know, you've given us so many players.
Well, as you said on the podcast this week, how many Irish under 23 players can you name?
So we shouldn't be relying on a lot from Birmingham.
All of the players we take are all the players we pick these days are pretty much from the British Isles. Yeah. You've got McCarthy, you've got McGeady. You've got a plethora of English average players.
Look, how much sympathy was there for Scotland when McCarthy declared for Ireland, when McGeady declared for Ireland? You know, we seen the articles coming out when we went to play them in... we did play in Celtic Park, didn't we? And the Irish people say, fuck off, you basically did this, that and the other. There you go. This is how it works. He made the choice that, if you were completely honest with yourself, you, viewer, would do the same. I don't think there's any competition. It's not even as if... You know, he had a couple of holidays in Wexford as a lad or something. He's completely English, like completely English. And the fact he played youth football for Ireland is It's an anomaly. It's just one of those things that nobody will remember in 2-3 years.
Yeah, well, I'd say it's probably a certain part of Grealish was just thinking when he was that age, was like, well, I'm probably not good enough to play for England, so I might as well just take any opportunity to play international football.
I was pretty annoyed when he took the time to think, because I was like, oh, here we go, he's digging about, blah, blah. You know, because Ireland is obviously our first concern. Yeah, exactly, because there's probably a part of you that will just make you do that snap decision where you go, yeah, you know what, I'll play for Ireland, I'll play something for you, I should do it. No, you shouldn't. You don't owe us anything.
Yeah.
You owe the nation of your birth something. So if you'd taken a snap decision and gone with, the irresistible call of Martin O'Neill and Roy Keane, he'd probably end up regretting it long term.
And our messianic, glorious CAO, John Delaney, who wouldn't want to play for an organisation run by that man?
He wouldn't miss out on any money because Delaney would sort him out.
Yeah, points and stuff.
But
so as a final point on that though, I think the problem with this is the fact that a player is able to play all of his youth football for one nation and then switch over.
You see, just in case somebody who's involved in the running of this is watching, I don't think that's a problem, because we'd have no fucking footballers if we couldn't steal Welsh, Scottish, God knows we spend enough time in Spain as a nation now, to steal their players when we impregnate someone from that nation or whatever. Because if they close that loophole, we will quite literally end up like, I don't know, Cyprus, Andorra or something like that. Think about it. Think about where the players would come from. John Walter starts for Ireland. Yeah. And, he only came to the Irish team when he was like past 25.
I think so. I think...
Not that I don't like John Walters. I have a lot of time for him as a footballer. He gives everything, and that's all I ask of Irish internationals.
This is more and more so than... He gives more than a certain Mr. Stephen Ireland does.
But if that loophole was closed about youth football, I mean, how could we piss off Northern Ireland? There's just so many cards on the table that we need to keep there. Maybe
I just want an existential crisis, so it forces someone somewhere to realise that we are gloriously fucked as a nation in terms of youth development.
Self-awareness within the Football Association of Ireland. Not gonna happen.
When your CAO or your CEO is starring in as his own movie and then takes a piss out of Sepp Blatter for making a FIFA movie, then you realise there's something wrong in that man's head.
And you see him more often promoting his girlfriend who's like 20 years younger than him than talking about football.
So. She just loves him for his personality, though.
Oh well, yeah, no, he's bubbly. He'd listen to him all day.
Of course. Well, he's a well-renowned socialite, John Delaney.
Look at everything Ireland related comes to Delaney. It doesn't matter who it's about.
Wouldn't you? He's a glorious, intelligent, sophisticated man. One of
modern Ireland's most misunderstood men, you'd say. A real hero. Real giver.
Yeah.
Giver.
I think so.
But that's a wrap for Grealish, I think. Everything's said, and Delaney, apparently. But hopefully you've enjoyed Final Third Reacts. It's just something we'll do for it to get it to record, and something momentous happens, and an Englishman decides to play for England again. So, yeah. Leave your comments in the section below. Subscribe to Final Third TV, and look out for the episodes that come out later in the week, where we'll talk about other stuff as well. Thanks for watching. Come on, say goodbye to them.
Goodbye.
See you.